Good morning and welcome back to Crafting with Crystal. This is Fun Creamin' Friday. Hopefully you're having so much fun with Christmas and you want to continue the celebrations with New Year's, and hopefully I have just the thing for that. So this will be a fun little thing that you can do by yourself or set up a crafting station for your friends to make their own thing with you and celebrate the New Year's coming in. So let me show you what our craft is today and then we'll get into it, okay? Forgive the shakiness. This is going to be our craft today. So we're going to be making some fortune cookies. They do have fortunes in there. We're going to be making midnight kisses that you can hand out for the midnight kiss. And then we have these nice little, yay, jingly bells that you can craft with your friends together the day before and hopefully have them for the countdown. So that will be our craft for today. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so now that I've shown you what we're going to do, let me show you the materials we're going to be using. So you'll need a pair of scissors to cut and curl your curling ribbon. And of course you'll need your curling ribbon. If you shop at Michael's, they do have a clearance section and they often have little rolls of these that people don't use. So get it while it's there. You'll need glue. If you want to get this project done fast and or faster, I would recommend using like a hot glue gun or even super glue. Yeah, it's going to dry faster. If you don't have the time, please, by all means, use something that will dry faster. I am going to use regular glue because I like to play with regular glue. You're going to need your jingle bells. For your jingle bell shaker, you'll need your craft sticks. For your jingle bell shaker, you'll need cutouts. You can either cut them out on your own, you can get designs online. If you come to the library, I believe you can check out a die cut and cut things out that way. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. You can buy die cuts at Michael's. But either way, I happen to use our heart die cut. Cut out an outline and it cut out the hearts, which is what I used for these two here. You will need a hole punch, which I do not currently have because I've already punched holes in my hearts. And you'll need circles for your fortune cookies. The very last thing that you'll need, well, not the very last thing, you'll need Hershey's Kisses for your midnight hearts. But the very last thing you'll need is a computer and some imagination to come up with fortunes for your fortune cookie. If you don't want to use your imagination, that's fine. You can always look up fortunes online. You can look up funny fortunes online. One of mine happens to be, we would like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty, because they're everywhere, even in fortune cookies. So yeah, those are all the things we're going to need today. I will go back over it as we're going through each project. I'm not going to do all the projects at once because that would be silly. So let's go ahead and get started with our first one. We're gonna go ahead and start off with our rattler here. You can use any colors, of course. Depending on the party that you're having, I know people like to theme them blue and silver, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, and, you know, neon, unless you're like a pastel goth. Okay, so again, the things you'll need for your rattler are your craft sticks and your bells, your ribbon, some scissors, and some glue. I highly recommend using super glue and or slash hot glue gun for this project. The bells are very slick, and even though the regular Elmer's glue will stick to it, it will probably be more likely to fall apart eventually. And you're probably going to use this once for New Year's and then trash them. Hopefully not. Hopefully you'll repurpose it, like I keep asking everyone to do each video. But yeah, so hot glue gun and or slash super glue, please. One more thing that you can do with these is color them. They do have colored craft sticks, so that might go with your theme as well, and unless you're like me and you just want to do it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our jingle bell, and these particular jingle bells have the top there, the little hole that you can put things in. You're going to pick out 2 colors of your ribbon, and since I've already used, you know what, I'm going to use 2 different colors. Since I've already used this green, and I've already used this multicolor one, I actually have rubber bands on them so that they'll stay there and I don't have to put tape on them, they'll just come right out. I'm going to use this multicolor one and this green because they seem to go together well. What I'm going to do is put them together and thread them through the jingle bell. You want about 4 inches on each side, and then you will cut. So you should have something like this. What you're going to do next is tie a knot in it to make sure it stays to your bell. Okay, so now you should have a bell with ribbon that looks like this. Of course, we don't want any floppy ribbon. This doesn't look very festive, now does it? A lot of you already know this particular trick to curling ribbon, but for those of you who don't, you will take the sharp edge of your scissors, you'll place it on the bottom side of your ribbon, and you'll place your thumb on that outer edge, like that, and you'll just pull it along your ribbon. You can do that as many times as you need to create the curl that you want. Boy, it is hot in here. Oh, that one's not so good. Here we go. There is such a thing as too curly. So don't overdo it unless you're planning on using like multiple jingle bells. And then whenever you have that, you will use your hot glue gun slash super glue. How about mine? And glue on the flat part of your jingle bell here, and you'll lay it on your craft stick. It's not quite staying for me right now. It'll look like that. So how it looks sitting up. It'll be on the very, very top. And then you'll leave it to dry. If you're in a hurry, again, if you're using a glue gun, this will go a lot faster, so you can just move right along. We're going to move right along, and we are going to, even though it's not dry, go ahead and do our second jingle bell. So again, thread it through. Cut it. Wrap it. And curl it. Okay, now that I have my curlies the way I want them, whoops, tighten that a little more. Sticking up and out, I will put glue on my flat side of my jingle bell there and place it just underneath the one at the top. And at this point, you know, you can rearrange your ribbon. You can recurl it once it's dried with the hot glue gun or super glue. Do not try it with regular Elmer's glue because one, that will take some time to dry, and two, it might pop off because of the slick surface. But that's it. Once it's dry, you're ready, unless you want to add more jingle bells to it. I know for a fact that if you do anything with the Elmer's glue while it's on there, while it's drying, while it's been dried, it will pop off. I am letting you know from experience. I had a whole one at the beginning of this video, and now I have a single one, which is also good. It still makes sound. So that's that project. Like, that was super easy, right? Super simple. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, now that we've gotten our jingle bells out of the way, even though you can still hear them, we're gonna move on. We can set aside our craft sticks and our jingle bells for the moment, and our ribbon, because we won't need it for this one. What you'll need for the next one is the fortune cookie. So you'll need your round cutouts here. They will help if they are perfectly round, and you'll need your imaginative little fortunes here. Let me find a good one to use. Okay, I'm going to use error 404, fortune not found. I did not put any serious fortunes in these, unfortunately, but look how cute they are. They look like fortune cookies. Okay, so what you're going to need for this, again, if you want to make it faster and you don't have the time to sit with each one of these to dry, use a hot glue gun, use super glue. I'm not going to do that. What you'll want to do is get your little circle. You will pinch these two sides together. Do not crease this. You're going to attempt to find what you think is the midpoint, and you're going to just pinch it. Pinch. Why do I say it like that? Do not ask me, but pinch it right there. And then if you are crafting normally with someone else, this is where they would ask you to stop and then go ahead and do the full thing. I find that it's easier if you go ahead and do it the other way as well. So kind of fold it the other way, and then find where you pinched it in the middle on the other side and pinch it again. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Okay, so now we have our circle. It's not been completely folded, but you can see that crease line right there in the middle. So whichever crease line looks better, you're going to, it obviously does that better on that side, or folds better on this side. So we're going to use that to our advantage, and we're going to place our fortune cookie in the middle there. Once you've done that, you're going to fold this over so that the ends meet and one of the ends folds over the top. Get back in there. Make sure your fortune stays in the middle so that when you fold it up, it stays in the middle. So again, like a little burrito, a little taco, you're going to grab it. You'll find your center here that you folded it on earlier. You're going to push that in while you're pulling out. So push in, holding that flap, pull out. Push in, pull out. Oh, my fortune moved. Get back in there. push, pull. And then when you're done with that, not all fortune cookies are going to be perfect, especially if you didn't quite mark the middle, and depending on how much you fold it over on the top, there's a bunch of variables. So they're all going to appear differently. Some are going to look better than others, but don't worry about it because fortune cookies are not perfect, right? When you're done with that, you're going to slightly open it here in the middle and then put your glue right there and then just push it together so that it stays in this little cookie form. Okay. And then you'll wait for it to dry if you're using Elmer's glue. If you're not and you're using a hot glue gun or super glue, you can just set it aside and keep on with the rest of them. A good hack for if you're wanting to go ahead and do 2 at a time or so, or keep moving on, is using a pair of scissors and kind of gauging where it's closing, and then just placing the scissors there so that it will hold it. And that way you don't have to hold it yourself and you can just move on to the next one while it's drying, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you again without the fortune in it so that I'm not flip-flopping all over the place. So again, you're going to fold it over, pinch where you think the middle is, fold over, pinch where you think the middle is again, place your fortune. Doesn't matter which way you place it, as long as it's long ways to wherever you're folding it. So it would be long ways this way if you're folding it like this. It would be long ways this way if you're folding it like this. It's a circle, doesn't matter which way you fold it. So again, you're going to fold over like it's a burrito. Fold over like it's a burrito. You're going to hold that. Oops, I can't hold it. Going to hold that like this. Pinch in the middle, or push rather, push in the middle. Put your fingers on either side. Push and pull. Right? Push, pull. Push, pull. Push, pull. So this one turned out a lot better. So again, variables. How much you're folding it over, how small the circle is, how you're pulling it, where you're pushing it in. They're all going to look different unless you're like a machine and you can do it perfect every time. So that was our project. Have fun with it. Put a bunch of different random fortunes in there. I have a whole bunch of different ones. Warranty one, I have look behind you, I have insert wisdom here. I don't have the answer. I have marriage, lets you annoy one special person for the rest of your life. These aren't exactly fortunes, but they're funny and hopefully your friends will have fun with them. If you know your friends and that's something that you can personalize, that would be even better. These probably be something that you make before your party, before your get together, and kind of hand out or let people grab as they're walking in. That way maybe they can open them at the stroke of midnight. Speaking of the stroke of midnight, let's move on to our next one. Okay, for our last craft here for your New Year's get together, we're going to be doing midnight kisses. The cutest way to do this would be to cut out a pair of lips and write midnight kiss on it and stick the kiss on it. Unfortunately, I don't have a die cut of lips. That's a very specific die cut to get. So I improvised and I just used hearts because, you know, midnight kiss, love, hearts, all goes together, right? I did, however, use a die cut. You can use whatever you would like. I just did not have the time to sit here and cut out a whole bunch of lips. Even though this is a video for your benefit, a video telling you how to do it. I do use these finished crafts to give out to friends, to family, to coworkers. So I do make a lot of the samples that I have so that I can give them out, which is why I didn't want to sit here and cut out a bunch of lips. So if you're like me and you don't want to do that, just because you're trying it out, do something easy, like a heart. So it's self-explanatory. You have your little heart, you have your little kiss, and you glue it on here and write midnight kiss. It will look like this. My handwriting is atrocious, so forgive me, but that's it for that one. So as simple as putting glue on it, getting your heart, and sticking it on there, and then writing midnight kiss. That's the first one. That's exactly what you would do with the lips. If you're planning on cutting out lips, cut out a lip, write midnight kiss, and stick the kiss on it. You don't have to make it over embellished, you don't have to overdo it. It's really simple, really easy. Now, because I'm extra, and hopefully some of you are extra, I did a second one with the extras of my die cut. So what I did here was I got my little extras, I hole punched each side, and I did it with all of them. However, I hole punched them in different areas so that the kisses would hang in different spots. So for this one, you can do a multitude of ways. What I did with this one, and I'll just show you before I do what I'm going to do with the other one, is I put glue on the end here and then I just folded it over and stuck the glue on there. Put a paper clip and let that dry. Same thing with this side, I put glue on the end, folded it through the circle and paper clipped it so that it would dry to hang on. I glued the little paper as it was hanging on here, and then once it dried, I glued it right here to the center, so it's like a little bell. And then again, let it dry. However, if you're wanting it to hang directly in the center and just be straight across, you will put your holes right here on the side. You will get your ribbon, and since I've already used these two colors, I'm not going to use them again. Put my rubber bands back on, and then choose a different color. So for this one, I'm going to measure out about an inch or two off the side and then cut it for this. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and thread it through on both sides so I know what I'm working with. And I'm going to glue this back part here. And then once I'm done, I'm going to glue the kiss there. Of course, you want to make sure that the glue is as far away from the chocolate as possible. Like that. So now I have a Hershey hanging in the center, and I'll just write Midnight Kiss on the outsides. So I'm actually going to let that dry, because of course I'm using Elmer's glue and it needs time to dry. But that's another way that you could do it. Just wrap it all the way around and then glue your kiss to the center there. If you don't like that way, you can put your holes at the top here. And then when you do that, you will again measure out about an extra 2 inches. Okay, back to this. So you'll thread that through. You want to thread it upwards. When you get right here to the middle, you're going to fold it into a V shape so that it's coming back up. And you'll glue it right there in the middle. So I'm going to glue that before I show you. If you need to take it out and do what I'm doing and then rethread it, by all means, do it how it works for you. Okay, so this is what you should have. So this is what you'll have. At this point, you can tie a knot in the back here. You can do any number of things how you want to tie this off. What I'm going to do, because it's easier, is I'm just going to fold this back over and glue it to itself. Hold that up a little more so that the Hershey can hang. So I have put glue right here on the back, and I am just going to fold it down like that. You can kind of see the glue coming off of me here. And just kind of smooth it out, that way it sticks to itself. Make sure it's even on both sides. And then do the same thing. Glue, fold out. So that's what you have now. So now that you have that, and once it dries, you're going to stick a small amount of glue on this center in the back and glue your kiss. To it. So I'm hanging on to it so that the glue doesn't just slide right off, obviously. Because again, I am using Elmer's glue and it needs time to dry. But that's what it will look like. And then you can write Midnight Kiss anywhere on there. So that's just a couple different ways that you can, if you're choosing to do it the more complicated hard ways, make it look all nice and pretty and fancy and festive and hole punch your hearts, there's a multitude of different ways that you can do it now that you've seen. You can fold them over, you can glue the ends together, you can tie the ends. I'm not very good at tying small things in small places, so I can't show you that particular way. It might be easier if you're using yarn, because that's a little bit more pliable, but it is heftier. Like, you don't think of yarn as hefty, but it will be heavy on paper. Especially with the little candy attached to it. So you want to be aware of that, especially if you're going to have these things hanging, if you're going to have them lying on a table. The way you treat these is going to be different depending on what you do with them. So that was it. So we have our circle one here. It's still drying. We have our W here. That one's finished, and then we have our hanging V here. Feel free to experiment. Comment below, show me pictures of ways that you did it that was different than the way that I did it, because I'm constantly looking for new ideas. So those were our projects for today. So now we have some rattlers to make some noise at countdown. We have some fortune cookies to get someone pumped for the new year. So there's definitely a chance to do that. And then we have some midnight kisses to hand out to everyone. It's a fun little project, and I definitely think it would be fun as a group project, especially if you're having people come over early, if you have crafty friends that want to try out something new, or even if you just want to make them for your friends who just want to come and have a good time. So I realized that this was a bit longer of a video, and we did do multiple projects here, but I always like using, something that you can use for every different kind of project. And why not? It's almost New Year's. Craft, do something fun, go into the new year being active and being imaginative and being creative. Hopefully you had a super great time with us this year. I know I had the most wonderful time making these videos for you all year long. And hopefully I can continue doing that in this new year. And hopefully you will come and comment below and, let us know what it is that you want to see in this new year. Let us know what it is that you want to do, things that you want to try out, activities that you want to bring to our attention. As always, the library is here for you. We're here to have fun. We're here to make your days easier and active and enjoyable. So please keep coming back and watching our videos. Comment below, share these videos so that we can continue spreading this throughout our communities, and bring something to someone else that has the most basic of materials and wants to do something with them. Okay, so that was our crafts for today. I am Crystal. This will be my last video of this year, even though it's for the new year. And I hope y'all had a great time. All the way downstairs. The things I do for the love of art. So you will need a pair of scissors to cut and curl your little, what is it, ribbon? I know it's called something. What is this called? It's just curling ribbon? Okay, that makes sense. Holy crap. Why? Okay. Broke it. Oh, it's recording. Okay, sorry. And let's see. I guess I'm not going to do it that way. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, my fortune cookie. Darn it. Ah. I got you. I am in the middle of another project. Please stick together. Keep yourself together. You're not gonna stick? Okay, let's go. I don't need you to stick. I just need you to stay. Like a little, what do they call those things at graduation? The V-shaped things. Anyway, but it might be easier if you use ribbon. Not ribbon. I'm using ribbon.